Social media. Made newsworthy. Do you know what these icons stand for? I'll bet the majority of America can name at least 4 of these icons just by looking at them. Americans are plugged in all the time. At work, at school, at home, and other places it shouldn't be. Even while you're sleeping, your social media is working for you. Social networking was first created in the 1990s, mainly for old classmates looking to connect, or singles looking for a mate. Then social networking expanded into social media. In the article, Online Social Networks, it is stated the popularity and rapid evolution of social media demonstrates humanity's creativity in using the internet as a tool for new kinds of communication. Socializing online swiftly became the preferred form of communication, especially with the younger generation. There is even a term for generations that grew up on the internet. They are referred to as digital natives. Children and young adults being raised online have possible dangers, such as this impressionable youth reading uncredited articles. When users start mixing where they get their news and entertainment, it becomes difficult to determine what is newsworthy. So what's my point? Entertainment has become more important than news. As a result, digital natives' attention has been directed towards insubstantial topics and taking their focus off significant events. Constantly feeling the need to be entertained instead of feeding the intellect makes a person wonder, has the internet changed the way we think? Everyone is at risk, but more than most is Generation Z. Born in the age of the internet, they have been plugged in since birth. In just 1 year, the amount of Americans using social media grew by 8 million. The article, Impact of the Internet on Thinking, stated, people today are more connected than ever, visiting social media sites, checking headlines on the web and texting, emailing and instant messaging. The internet has become the focus of many people's lives, the place where they socialize, shop, do their work, and view and listen to entertainment. Americans spend an average of 8.5 hours a day looking at their phones, TVs, or computers, typically multitasking with 2 or all 3 at once. Addiction has even become a health concern in some countries and the topic of psychological debates. And that brings me back to the question at hand. Is the internet changing the way we think? While scrolling through the internet, you are most likely to choose clickbait, which is articles titled to attract readers and encourage visiting a certain website, rather than selecting articles with intellectual substance. In addition, most people seek information online without thinking twice about the source, even when there are plenty of trustworthy sources out there that are suffering due to the lack of advertising. The article, Journalism Standards in the Internet Age, states, best practices and best principles will always elevate themselves. There always will be a home for quality and independently verifiable work. In the online world, where people can share what they like and don't like, that is the kind of work that will always be valued. If a news organization expects to sell ads beside its news content, it better be credible. Since newspapers have lost revenue, they have had to downsize staff, decrease frequency of publication, and some have even ceased operations. However, this decline has been happening since before the internet. In the past 50 years, newspaper sales have decreased 17%. In addition, broadcast news youth viewership continues to drop each year, all because the internet's faceless audience is not doing their homework on who is credible. Those who seek their news on the internet typically choose amusement over a topical subject. According to the article Social Media Explosion, a popular movie had more than 25,000 tweets on Twitter per second, and the Japanese earthquake and tsunami only had 5,530 tweets per second. That's disappointing. Speaking of disappointing, on November 11, 2014, Kim Kardashian's nude front page cover of Paper the magazine was published in an attempt to break the internet. According to Urban Dictionary, breaking the internet is causing a large commotion on the World Wide Web, with many social networks and news outlets discussing the same thing. These pictures were talked about and reported on more than an attack on a school that nearly killed 50 people. According to the article Media Bias, Kim Kardashian has over 17 million Twitter followers, and many of those people are probably following her instead of reading the news. There's a worry for the future of the Republic. Today, people are constantly looking at their phones because they feel the need to communicate with others, even when a social life is sitting right in front of them. It's understandable that everyone needs a mind-numbing escape from the constant hustle and bustle of everyday life. However, when a person shuts their brain down more than necessary, it begins to deteriorate. The brain is like the body. It needs healthy food to be in good shape, but if it's fed junk food continuously, it won't be able to function properly. Being uninformed in the world's events, but knowing the latest celebrity gossip has brought this country to a position where a knowingly corrupt politician is in the lead to be the next president, and a vapid racist and narcissist is second.